Welcome to Interactive Storytelling. In this seventh and last set of videos, I will address some miscellaneous topics that haven't got covered in the earlier videos. The first topic is the question of having multiple interactors in the same story world. Up to now, the somewhat silent assumption has been that there's only one human interactor in the story world, and all the other characters are computer controlled. What about if we allow two or more human interactors in the same story world? There are two essential questions that a multi-interactor platform would have to solve. The first and crucial challenge is how we can ensure that all interactors will stay in the focus of the story. The second challenge is about persistence. If the story world is persistent, how do we handle interactors entering and exiting at any time? Let's think about providing multiple focus. With one interactor, the focus of the generated story is clear. The story world can be designed with this one interactor in mind. All the characters and dramatic events serve this interactor and are at their disposal. With multiple interactors, the focus disperses, leading to a too many heroes problem, which asks how we can tell a story that would be compelling to multiple main characters. This could work in an epic story with a massive amount of interactors, of which none is central. Most massive multiplayer online games, however, ignore this problem and offer the same story for all players. For example, World of Warcraft allows everyone to take turn in killing the Lich King and saving the world. If we want to solve this problem, every character can't be a hero, but someone also has to do the mundane work, even if we are in a story world. At the heart of this problem is that each human-controlled character needs a group of computer-controlled characters to support them. Therefore, one solution is that each new interactor also brings along new supporting characters. These groups of extras provide enough attention to each individual interactor and help to maintain dramatic tension around them. But this is likely to make the story world a crowded place and makes it more difficult to maintain. Another approach is to limit the number of interactors in the story world artificially, so that it's possible to provide each of them with a meaningful story. Another way to think of this is that there is a limited set of main roles that the interactors can play, and once all of those roles are cast, that particular story world instance doesn't allow more human interactors to take part in it. Solving the multiple focus problem is basically a design decision. If the platform allows multiple interactors, then the designer has to provide each of them enough content. Having multiple interactors who can enter and exit at will means that the story world has to be persistent. Multiplayer online games solve this problem by allowing a player to simply materialize and vanish, but an interactive storytelling platform would have to consider also the ongoing stories and the presence of interactors. Again, this boils down to a design decision, and the chosen approach must be integrated seamlessly into the story world. Let's think about what happens when an interactor logs out. One possibility is that the interactor's character just disappears from the story world. This can be inconvenient and unbelievable unless this kind of an event is somehow included in the story world's internal logic. This means that the designer would have to come up with an explanation what happens when a character disappears and why this can happen in the story world. And of course, there should be an explanation when the interactor's character reappears to the story world. Another possibility is that the interactor's character becomes a computer-controlled character until the interactor logs back in. This character would continue to exist and act in the story world while the real human interactor is not present and controlling it. Of course, the interactor could give some higher-level goals for the character to pursue during the absence. The biggest problem is how to guarantee that something extraordinary doesn't happen to the character in the meanwhile. When the interactor is not present, the character cannot be subjected to big plot twists. For example, imagine the interactor coming back to the story world the next day and finding their character dead. To summarize, a compelling story world requires that the events are dramatically interesting to all the interactors. If we allow multiple interactors in the platform, we must also prepare for conflicts in the design. How to solve them is, at the moment, an open question that would require further study. In the next video, we'll take a look at another open question: interactive storytelling in streaming media. See you there.